Hey there, it's Dave with Flipperforce. We just launched our new Bid Manager feature, which you can use to manage and track all of your bids that you receive for all of the different repairs that you have on your rehab projects here. So I've got the repair estimator open here. You'll notice a new bids button next to each category. So this bids button, this is what you can use to track the bids for this category. So for the roofing category, we've got our new bid manager tool, and this is what we can use to track the roofing bids that we receive from our contractors. So that way we have all of that bid information right here in the estimator, and then we can use that bid information and those values to help us put together our estimate and our budget for the project. So basically what you can do on the bid manager, you can see I've opened up the roofing bid section, so I'm just going to track a couple roofing bids in here. You can track up to 3 roofing bids in here, so generally it's a good idea to get at least 2 to 3 bids for each category on your projects. So we have the ability to add in up to 3 roofing bids in here, and basically what you can do is you can track the bid by each company, and then you can track their bid amounts, make some bid adjustments, make some notes, and hopefully help you determine who the low bidder is on the project. So we're going to add a new company in here. We're just going to call them ABC Roofing. So we got a bid from ABC Roofing, and let's say that we got a bid for $5,000 for the roof. In bid adjustment, this is going to be used to adjust the bid in case they didn't include some scope of work, or maybe they excluded some scope of work from their proposal, and you're trying to get the proposals from all of your contractors apples to apples, oranges to oranges. So let's say that this contractor didn't include the demolition for some reason, so all they had was installing the roofing materials, but they didn't include demo. So I talk to the contractor, I say, hey, you didn't include demo, what would it cost for you to do the demo on the project? And he says, well, it's probably going to be about $1,000. So we end up adding in that bid adjustment to make sure that it's equalized to the other bids that we're going to receive. So for example, let's say that we got another bid from, let's call them Best Roofing here, and let's say that they gave us a complete bid. So their bid was $57.50, but they actually included the demolition. They included everything that we really wanted them to include. So we don't really need to make a bid adjustment for them. So we think that they have a complete bid. They've bid all of the labor and materials, and then they also bid the demolition and haul off of all of the roofing materials that they're going to be tearing off. So they really gave us a complete bid here. So I'm just going to make a note, complete bid. And then I'm going to make a note over here, had to add $1,000 to their proposal because they excluded the roof demolition. So we're just trying to equalize these bids to make sure that these roofing contractors are bidding the exact same thing. If somebody is excluding something that the other one does not have, then we really kind of need to make an adjustment there. So that, again, that's what that adjustment is for, is so that way that we can equalize these bids, because previously it looked like ABC Roofing, it looked like they were the low number because they were only $5,000. So if we would have just ran with them, we would have gotten into the project and they would have sent us a bill, or they would have said that they didn't have the demolition once we already signed the contract, and then next thing you know, they're sending us a change order for $1,000 because they didn't have the demo, when in fact we probably should have hired Best Roofing because they had a complete bid at $5,750, and they included everything, including the labor, material, and the demolition that the other contractor didn't have. So that's a quick clarification on that bid adjustment. That's how that can be utilized, just so that way you can equalize those bids and make sure that all the bids that you're receiving are apples to apples and oranges to oranges. So that's how that works. You can upload your bid proposal. So if you want to upload the actual bid document, if they send it to you as a PDF document or a Word file, or maybe you just want to take a picture of it on your phone and then upload it in here, that can be another way for you to track those documents in our system and keep a log for the future, so that way you can reference that information in the future. Maybe you have another project down the road and you want to go back and reference that. You'll be able to go in here and see how much the bids were that you received on the roofs, stuff like that. So that's our new bid manager tool. Again, it's just a new widget that we've added directly to the repair estimator for you to track the bid amounts and the bid proposals that you receive, so that way you can determine who the low bidder was. So in this instance, we think Best Roofing is probably the best option for us. They're $5,750 for the roof. You can see previously in our initial estimate we had $7,000 plugged in, so now we can go in and maybe change that to $5,750 if we want to say roofing bid from Best Roofing. We can just kind of clarify that as well. So that's how that new bid manager can be used. It's a way for you to track the bid proposals that you receive. Once you receive those bid proposals, use those bids that you've got there to adjust your bid and adjust your budget for your project. You can plug that in there, and then that will be used and established for what you're going to use for your construction budget for the project. So that's our new bid manager tool. We're going to be adding in a new inspection widget as well, and we're also thinking about adding in a new photos widget, so that way you can track photos for each category. So if you do have any questions or comments or ideas on some other widgets that you think would be useful for building into or adding on top of our repair estimator, let us know.